Good afternoon to all of you. I welcome you all for this webinar. I'm Nesamani. I'm a BE certified energy auditor and energy management system lead auditor. I'm posted at PCRA Chennai. Today's topic of discussion is on ISO-50001 EnMS energy management system approach for energy efficiency. Means how this standard helps organizations to excel in their energy efficiency, that we will be discussing during the program. So the flow of the presentation will be like what is energy management and why to manage energy, how to manage energy, what are the barriers for energy management, what is this standard is about ISO 50001 or EnMS. What are the benefits of this standard? How to implement the standard? And finally, we will have a conclusion. So what is the energy management? It is similar to our financial management or health management, I will say, because it also involves monitoring, first thing. In financial management also, we used to have a monitoring, then only we will be able to control our expenses. Same is for here also. Energy management is the process of monitoring, means measuring the data about how much energy you are consuming, your equipments, those things we have to take measurements, and controlling and conserving energy in the organization. How can we conserve? By avoiding the wastage of energy in those processes. So when we start monitoring, then only we will be able to find the wastages in our processes. The relevant standard which is used for energy management is ISO 50001. This is energy management standard. So why to manage energy? Because most of us, I know that most of the organization doesn't have a energy management system at present. So we should know that why to manage energy. Because energy cost is the second most in any industry. One second. Yeah, energy cost is the second most after the employee cost for most of the industries. So if we start manage the energy, then energy cost will reduce. It will increase our profitability. So we will be ahead of our peers. Second is conserves valuable fossil fuels. In India, almost 55% of our energy is produced from coal thermal power plants. So coal is a fossil fuel. It has a very impact on global warming and harmful gases. So if we start conserving energy, the production also will come down. Thereby, fossil fuels consumption will reduce. Third is a lesser emission of harmful gases. For every unit produced in a power plant, there is almost 0.92 kg of CO2 gases emitted. We all know that what are the problems with the CO2. It will create a global warming and other problems. So that problem will be eliminated. Fourth is it will control the global warming by low carbon footprint that we have discussed. Final is it will reduce the risk of energy price volatility. This is the most riskier part of in energy management. Like most of the companies nowadays going for energy management, their first priority is to control the energy price volatility. Means by observing the energy consumption data, they will have a future contracts accordingly, so that the price volatility will not affect their business. So third is about how to manage energy. There are two ways we can manage energy around the globe. It is happening at present. One is a ad hoc or bottom-up approach. Second is a systematic and structured approach. Ad hoc approach is nothing but how many of us felt like when we go for a medical checkup, yearly medical checkup to hospital, doctor will go through our medical reports and he will suggest something that your sugar levels has gone up or your weight has gone up, so you have to do some exercise. So immediately we start doing exercise for few days. After that we will leave. Means the need basis, we used to act as per the need basis. That is called ad hoc approach. We will see, means for example, when the energy prices per unit prices has increased, then management will go for an ad hoc approach, like they will call for energy audit, and the audit points will be implemented. After that they will leave it as it is, means it will be considered as a one-time project. So further follow-up, further actions will not be there. So this system will fail after the few years. But in case of a systematic approach, it is like a join. I will say simple for a layman understanding. It's like a joining a gym with a good instructor. There, the professional gym, what they do, they will initially take data, your blood test, means other data, your data. Then they will help you in improving your health. Thereby, continual improvement will be there yearly. So that is called a systematic approach. We will see what are the advantages and disadvantages of both the procedures. Ad hoc approach, this is which I have discussed. The bottom is the tenure in years, and this is the cost. If the energy price has increased, suddenly the management starts thinking to go for an energy audit. So the energy audit will be conducted here, and the points audit suggestions will be implemented. So the energy expenditure will come down little bit, but the actions will not be prolonged. So again the price will move up. So again we have to go for an audit. So it is like whenever the need arises, it will happen. So what are the disadvantages of this ad hoc approach? The approach is susceptible to on again, off again syndrome. So its periodicity becomes linked to energy price fluctuations, with a high periodicity when prices are high and low periodicity at the times of low energy prices. And also this second is initiated by very few employees. No participation from top management. As the participation from top management is not there, resource requirement will not be fulfilled. For example, very few of our employees will give some interest in conserving energy. They will go to their boss for we'll implement this project. This will have energy. As the system is not in place, what they will be doing, our aim is not about energy. We have to think about only production. What is the output? So you just to keep it there itself, and you go and see the pump is not running. Go and check that and correct it. Like that they will be saying. So that problem will be there in this ad hoc approach. Means it will be interested by and run by the very few employees. No participation will be from the other departments will be getting, and heavily relies on these few employees. If they get transferred to other places, then the project stops there itself. No one will run that project. And fourth disadvantage is no formal policies and support, so difficult to implement. Obviously, without any formal policies or resource allocation, no project can take place in our companies. So because of this reason, this ad hoc approach will fail in energy management. So second type of approach is structured approach to energy management. This is systematic approach as per ISO-50001. What happens in this? This is the bottom is in the tenures, and here the cost, energy cost. See, this standard mandates initial stage itself that top management has to commit for the program. So top management started committing this program. Whatever the easily identified energy conservation proposals are implemented. So immediately energy price will start coming down. Beyond one particular point, the employees of the plant cannot identify the energy conservation proposals. then they can take a help of energy auditors like PCRA. So energy audit is conducted and the further points are given for energy conservation. Here again energy price and the savings will occur here further. Then after some years, because of new technologies, investments in new technologies, those things that will create a further reduction in energy price. As this standard mandates that continual improvement, means it should not be going back, like the curve will not go back, and it should not go back as per this standard. So everyone will jointly work as top management committed. Obviously every employee will start following the instructions of the top management, and the energy savings will happen continually along the years. So advantages of this, of a structured approach of ISO 50001. It mandates the commitment from top management, so good resource support from all. Similar to safety requirements. For example, what we do in our plants for doing any maintenance job inside the plant, the procedure is clearly laid down. Like we have to apply for a safety permits, and safety person will check and issue the permit. The procedures are there in place. Same thing as if you implement this standard, the procedures will be implemented. It shall be implemented for energy management requirements also. So as per the procedure, the energy management requirements are integrated into the primary work process of an organization. Means if we do the job relevant to energy management, no one can ask that you are doing out of the priority job. It is our so it will be our main job, so we have to do, and becoming a natural part of individuals' job duties. So this is also our it will also be our primary job. Requirements and expectations are made clear and consistent across the organization. During the implementation itself, we have to prepare objectives and targets, whereby what are the requirements and expectations from employees are clearly laid down by the top management that we have to follow. So thereby consistency will be there across the organization. Roles and responsibilities are established, avoiding redundancy, responsibility gaps, and confusion. Which job has to be done by any employee will be noted in the document, so there will not be any confusion. It provides these means for broad-based participation, expanding opportunity identification and multiplying results. When you go for a initial stage, like when you implement immediately, then you have to find out initial savings, like this phase I'm talking about, where the employees only will come up with energy conservation proposal. Employee includes contract laborers. We will be getting more ideas from contract laborers and staffs about energy conservation, because they are working in a field day to day. So everyone will be participating in the energy conservation proposal. So it will have a very good results, because energy conservation will be lying within near to us, but we may not be able to, we may be overlooking that. But if you discuss with the team, it will be easy to find many energy conservation proposals. So these are the advantages of this EnMS approach. So if these many advantages are there, like reducing energy prices and energy risk volatility will be managed, and pollution will be less, then why it is not getting implemented by many of the companies? So what are the barriers for this energy management? One thing is that top management's priority is different. See, top management's priorities, almost 24 priorities we can find out, and out of 24, this energy is one of the priority. First priority used to be like human resource, raw materials, and final product. Second comes a customer satisfaction and any risk, legal risk, those things. Like that, the energy will be out of 24 priorities, only one is the energy. See, the choice of the organization to reject the ISO 50001 standard is due to the one thing is that maybe misconceptions regarding the standard. They may be thinking that it is also similar to another standard like quality standard or environmental standard. So it will not have a result in the good results like that they may be thinking without knowing its advantages over alternative approaches. So instead of going for the implementing this standard, we'll go for an ad hoc approach like that they may be thinking. But thing is that this standard differs from other standard by the way of the result it mandates. Means every year we have to show, not every year, during the tenure, we have to show the progress after implementing this one by the way of percentage. At the end of the this presentation, I will show a few of the case studies. There will come to know how much it got gained. Third is a simple question to ask to any employee or any management is energy emissions reduction and sustainability a corporate value of the organization? If yes, then implement ISO 50001 without delay. If no, means need to evaluate further. If no, means you are working against the corporate social responsibility or under ecology of this system. So there is no way if this obviously sustainability is the our vision for most of the companies in India. So surely the only way to achieve this vision is implementing ISO 50001 without delay. Fifth is what is this standard ISO 50001 or EnMS? The ISO 50001 standard enables the organization to establish the systems and processes which is necessary to improve energy performance, efficiency, and reduce energy consumption. It is intended to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions, energy cost through systematic management of energy. The standard addresses the following: energy use, consumption, and energy performance. By measurement, the measurement has to be done, then only we can do those controlling the energy consumption. Documentation is necessary for this, so that the process will move seamless, and reporting of energy use and consumption. Design and procurement of practices for energy using equipment, systems, and processes. That is also controlled by this standard. Development of an energy management plan and other factors affecting energy performance that can be monitored and influenced by the organization. These are the things the standard addresses with the detailed procedure. These main steps of the energy management system standard, like how to implement. These steps you can implement anywhere, regardless of the size of the organization. Even if 15 employees organization, small organization also, you can implement this standard. But at least you can implement using this. If you use this procedure, it will result into some energy saving. In fact, actually, you can use it in your houses also. If you go through these steps and if you implement, you try for your house, surely it will give it energy consumption reduction. The steps are like collect the energy data and metering the energy consumption of equipments and processes. This is for creating a baseline year. What is baseline year? We have to find out every progress starts from a 0 point. That 0 point has to be finalized. So that is called that 0 point is a baseline year. From here only we will be checking our progress. So second is identify the baseline ENPI. This is energy performance indicator. In simple terms, what is the ENPI for our health monitoring? We can say weight, kg, or we can say BMI, body mass index, or we can say BP, sugar levels. Any parameter we can take. That is considered as a baseline. After few years, we will check that with the present ENPI, so that we can find out whether we have improved upon or not. The ENPA baseline, which will reflect the energy performance for improvement. In this case, energy performance. Okay. Third is identify the significant energy uses. It is nothing but a high energy consuming equipments or processes in our plants, because it is easy to get energy savings from SEU, significant energy uses, instead of going and attacking the less consuming equipments. We have to first control and see the significant energy uses for energy savings. Fourth is identifying opportunities to save energy. First priority will be from SEU. Fifth is create objectives and targets for the energy reduction. Means you have find out that what are the possible energy conservation proposals. And after that, what we have to do, accordingly, we have to set objectives and targets for the energy reduction. Means objectives, we can say that within 3 years, we can our renewable energy source consumption will go by 50% from the present 10%. That is also an objective. And targets, we can say that our energy consumption will be reduced by 5% within 3 years. Like that, we have to set some objectives and targets, because without goals, we can reach nowhere. So sixth point is taking action. So we have set the goals like objectives and targets. To reach that goals, we have to take action to reduce the energy consumption. This will be done by action plans. We will have a plans for implementing, so that we will achieve these objectives and targets. The seventh step is track the progress. We have set the target for 3 years, let's say, for example. So every month we have to track the progress of the action plans as well as the ENPA. This ENPA also needs to be compared with the baseline, whether we are improving or not. Obviously, in some months we will be, we may not improve, but that has to be further investigated for checking for a non-conformity. Track the progress of actions and improvement in energy performance. Eighth is compare the present normalized ENPA with the baseline ENPA for checking the progress. Means this is like after 1 year or 2 years, we have to check the ENPA, normalized ENPA with the baseline, the initial ENPA, for checking the progress. For example, I am setting a target. This is 2020. I am setting a target that in 2022, I will reduce my energy consumption by 5%. So in 2021, I have to take every month I have to take the data and compare. That is for progress of actions. And in every year also we have to compare, so that whether we are improving or not, that needs to be checked. At the end of the third year, we will be the final. Like we have to check and we have to note down that whether we achieved that 5% target or not. Take action if any deviation. If we could not achieve the 5% target, then we have to take where the problem was. Like, so these are the steps. You can it is applicable to everywhere. It's a simple energy management system steps. It is taken from ISO-50001. It is not that only a steps. The standard mandates the supplementary procedures and documents which needs to be filled for running the program very well. So sixth is what are the benefits of this standard, implementing this standard. One is like compliance to legal requirements. The first thing the standard mandates is you have to comply all legal requirements relevant to energy management. So there will not be any penalty or closure of business risk is associated. Second is cost reduction. Energy cost will reduce, so profit will more, so we will be competitive among our business group. Third is a continual improvement of energy performance. So continually you are sure that after implementing, the energy expenditure will be going down. because this standard mandates that energy cost projections can be accurately estimated for new projects and expansion. So if you see, the first point is itself that collect the energy data and meter the energy consumption of various equipments processes. If we know that each pumps and compressors, what is its energy consumption for how much load, those data we have, then we can easily project our next year and future energy cost projections can be made, and as per this we can have a long-term contracts also, so that energy price risk volatility can be reduced. And it can identify the section on process-wise energy consumption by measurements that we have discussed. It will have enhanced competitiveness because of reduction in cost. Seventh is improved reputation and stakeholder satisfaction. Because of many of the foreign companies who have implemented this standard mandates that their customers and stakeholders also implement this standard. They will have a business tie-up with the companies which have implemented this standard. So it is mandatory nowadays if you have a business with the foreign companies. And the eighth is a reduction in carbon footprint. Because of lesser energy consumption, your carbon footprint will reduce. Ninth is a green or carbon financing opportunities. There are designated consumers who have reduced their energy consumption, and they earned carbon certificates, and they are trading that in the market. So this opportunity is also there by implementing this standard. This is one example that two companies, what they did is they have implemented this standard in few of the their plant facilities, and in few of the plants they have implemented only SEP. SEP is similar to ADAC. This is a superior energy program. This is one of the standard like certification in used in US. So what is the result was like wherever they have implemented, one company is Schneider Electric, second one is 3M. The Schneider Electric, wherever they implemented both ISO 50001 and SEP, they got an energy performance improvement of 19%. Wherever they implemented only SEP, means they did not implement ISO, they got only 11% of energy performance. Means implementing this ISO with the other energy power management program, it will yield almost 50% of more energy performance improvement. Same applies for 3M. Company name is 3M. That also did the same. With ISO, it got almost 10%. Without ISO, it got only 6%. So this shows the importance of these standards and benefits of the implementing this standard. Now we have seen that what are the two types of energy management program available, and why to have an energy management system, and what are the benefits. Now we will move to how to implement this standard, because it takes many days for getting a training. There used to be internal auditor training itself will take a minimum 2 days. So it is very difficult to just to say in this presentation about all procedures and formats. So I will just go through the important key elements. This standard is also working similar to other standards like plan, do, check, act. In plan phase, first is the plan. First is itself top management committing to the standard. It will create an energy policy where their objectives and objectives will be mentioned in the energy policy. Intent of their program. Second is an energy management team will be formed. It will overlook the successful implementation of this standard on behalf of the top management. In 2008, what they did is like they have removed management representative MR, and they gave all the top management is accountable for the non-conformity and successful implementation of this standard. So EMT will assist the top management in implementing. And fourth is they have to do a energy review. Energy review is nothing but measuring the energy consumption data, and from there finding out significant energy, major consumers, and ENPIs. After that, we have to set the objectives and action plans. How much percentage plan, how goal, how much we can save. That comes in a plan part. Next, we will go to do. It starts with implementation and realization. The plans, whatever plan, action plan set is started implementing in this second phase. And it includes communication and training to employees, awareness programs to employees about the importance of energy conservation, and operational control. The significant energy using equipments or processes are controlled, shall be controlled, so that it will have its energy performance will improve. Third phase is check. We have planned something and started implementing. So whether the implementation is going correctly or not, that needs to be checked. That comes here, check. Monitoring means every month we have to take measurements, and that data has to be analyzed for its correctiveness. And if any error is there, then needs to be, means any non-conformity, potential non-conformity happened, then that needs to be solved by corrective action. As well as the future NC shall not happen. For that, we have to take a preventive action. And internal audit. This has to be conducted to check whether the ENMS implementation is going successfully or not. Final is a act. Means we have checked the process, and act. Act is the phase where the management review meet will be there with the inputs from various like energy review, energy policy, and corrective action, preventive action. On this phase of monitoring and analysis, data will be given for a top management review. The outputs will be there as per the what are the actions to take to avoid potential NC, like that. And optimization and continual improvement. What are the actions to take for a continual improvement? Like this again, the output of this meeting will be given to planning stage. Again, it will go to do, plan, do, PDCA cycle, keep on continuing for years. So this is one of the energy review of on Indian oil terminal. Just for example, see, you can see that we have measured the energy consumption of various locations, and we created a pie chart. This shows that first highest consuming is TLF pump house with 23%. High most towers 22%. Admin building consumes almost 20% of total energy. Control room and PMCC consumes almost 10%. So we have to set a criteria how to choose a significant energy users. In this case, we have, then it comes canteen, LPG, air compressor, like that it goes on. In this case, we have said that the locations or equipment which consume more than 10% energy will be considered as a significant energy users. So about 10% means this all four we have taken for a significant energy users. So we started controlling its parameters like that. So second step what we have to do from energy review is the plotting a graph using regression analysis. Production versus energy. The plot will be like this. This is the actually normalized plot. It will not exactly come like this immediately. We have to remove the few data which are outside the graph. What is the purpose of this graph? This we will get a formula y equal to mx plus c. That formula we can get from this graph. That formula that c will be a fixed energy consumption irrespective of the production. And using that formula, we can estimate the future energy consumption also, that we can compare also. For that purpose, we have to create this graph. This is the key elements of the ISO-50001 2018. Actually, first thing is energy policy, top management's official statement of the organization's commitment to manage energy. Second is an energy management team. The team led by a representative who reports directly to top management. This team is responsible for overseeing the implementation of energy management system, but top management is accountable if any NC occurred. And the third is an energy review. The process to access the energy use, energy sources, consumption, to find a significant energy uses, and ENPI, energy performance indicators. This will identify opportunities for improvement. After finding the significant energy user, we can easily find the opportunities for improvement, means reduce the energy consumption. These data can be taken from the recent energy audit also, if the audit has been done recently. This we have discussed one of the sample energy review of IOCL terminal. The fourth key element is a baseline. One is a baseline is nothing but a reference point, means zero point where we are starting. That point is called a baseline. We don't take a single measurement. We have to average a year, baseline year we call it, so that we can it will be helpful for comparing with the future. And the energy ENPI is a unit or a ratio. Normally, ratio is preferred against the unit because ratio means specific energy consumption ratio to measure the energy performance. In this case, in the this oil terminal, so kilowatt hour per KL is taken as a ENPI. The ENPI shall reflect the overall energy performance of the plant that needs to be taken care while selecting a ENPI. And the relevant variables also need to be analyzed, which affects the ENPI. This is used for normalizing the future ENPIs. Sixth is the energy objectives and targets for the energy performance improvement at the relevant functions, levels, processes. Means it is not necessary that overall plant only one ENPI has to be taken. You can have many ENPI. Means, for example, compressor house can have their own ENPI as a kilowatt per CFM. That can be their ENPI. They can do some projects to improve their energy performance in compressor unit. So cumulatively, finally, this will improve, isn't it? So this is objectives and targets. Seventh is action plans. What are the action plan to meet those targets and objectives, to meet those goals? Eighth is operating controls and procedures for significant energy use. We have to have controls on the process of significant energy uses, so that it will be operated in a controlled manner, so that we can know its energy performance improvement. Ninth is measurement, management and documentation for continuous improvement of energy efficiency. Finally, top management review. These are the key elements of this standard. Few of the we'll go through few case studies of Indian companies. Obviously, foreign companies have started implementing many years back, and they are ahead of us, and they have earned a very good energy savings all the years. But this standard is picking up in our country. So we will see one by one few case studies which they have implemented and earned some energy savings. One is a JK Tire, Chennai. It is about a tire manufacturing company which is in Chennai. It implemented ISO 6 years back almost. So they got a energy performance improvement of 26%. Total energy saving, cost saving over the improvement period is almost 1.7 million US dollars. So huge. Cost to implement is only 7.4 lakhs US dollars. See the CO2, how much reduced from the initial, that also mentioned. This is the year-wise, how many projects, means for achieving that objectives and targets, we have to have action plans. That action plans are nothing but projects. How many projects every year they have taken up, and how much savings they achieved, and savings converted to price and investment payback. See the payback. Most of the projects are having a payback less than 10 months. So see, initial stages, the getting a projects and getting a saving is very easy. As the years crosses, it will be difficult. Means paybacks also it will improve, increase. See the recent project they implemented in 1819, which has a payback of almost 18 months. Few more case studies like JK Lakshmi Cement, that is a Sirohi plant. They have saved almost 9 crores. 90 crores of savings they have achieved in with the 3-year payback project. Raymond plant in Chindwara facility, they had implemented ISO-50001, and they had achieved almost 26 lakhs of energy savings. One more plant of Raymond Limited, it's in Jalgaon. They had achieved the target energy savings of 23 lakhs in 1 year payback period. See their remarks. It's rightly said, a company cannot control the cost of raw materials, but it can use an energy management system to reduce use and minimize manufacturing cost to obtain an edge in marginally profitable markets. So, say similar companies are there in the world. Raw material cost is fixed for all. So the output process cost also will be almost similar. So the output will be that cost also will be fixed in the market. Where the edge is nothing else that you can have a energy conservation activities like this by implementing this standard. Fifth case study is about Sri Cement Limited. It is in Rajasthan. They have saved almost 40 crores of energy with a 3-year payback project by implementing this. This is one of the DC, designated consumer. What they suggested is that they have involved their employees by way of making them aware about this standard and importance of energy management. They involved, so it had resulted in a good energy saving achievement. This is the Vedanta Limited. It is a smelter plant. They had saved almost 16 crores with only 2-month payback project. The ISO-50001 helped Vedanta to reduce its cost of production, reduce its carbon footprint, and meet multiple legal and government requirements in a structured and organized manner. So finally, we have come to what is the PCRA's role as an implementation consultant. First is a gap analysis. We will go through the present state of your plant, and we will identify where it is gap is there between identification of energy aspects and its evaluation to determine the severity of impact. As per the standard, where the gap is there, we will evaluate. And we will develop the system development and documentation. Means will give a templates and necessary guidance to core team in documentation as required by this standard for maintaining an effective EnMS. Third is an implementation of documented EnMS. Will provide a guidance for the implementation. Means we will have adequate visits during the implementation so that the EnMS is successfully implemented. Conducting one cycle of internal audit. Normally, internal audits, the tenure also has to be, we have to finalize the tenure. Normally, it used to be once in 6 months. We will conduct one cycle of internal audit and we will explain what are the NCs and we will provide a guidance for initiating the corrective actions for the reported audit findings in the form of NCs. Provide guidance for conducting top management review meeting, how it will be conducted, what are the inputs to be taken for that review, and what are the potential output from the top management review. Those things we will be giving a training. and provide guidance for initiating corrective action for the external audit findings and reported by certifying body. After implementing the EnMS, you will have to call for a certification agency for getting a certification. The audit, it will have two audits. So they will come up with some, if they come up with some findings, we will help to resolve those findings. And we give a awareness training to your employees on this standard, and internal audit trainings for few of the, particularly energy management team and whoever is willing to take up this internal auditing training. It will be for 2 days rigorous training on all classes and requirements of the standard. And training for management review meet, means this is for top management. We will train them on what are the requirements and actions to be taken. These are the PCRA's past successful implementation at various locations. One is we had implemented at BPCL refinery Mumbai and LPG terminal of BPCL at Uran within a record time of 5 months. And BPCL Kochi refinery, we had implemented ISO, and almost 70 numbers of plants got implemented. And BHL Trichy unit and BHL Haridwar unit, and various BPCL loop plants and bottling plants, and HPCL as well loop plants. We had implemented ISO 50001. This is about few snaps of BPCL refinery getting a certificate from the Honorable Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, in 2014. This is the certification snapshot of BHL Trichy. That's all, friends.